After a devastating war known as the Ruin, a community in North America has lived in peace as the residents' memories have likewise been erased. This community also thrives without feelings or color, since these would lead to disputes. We see a young man named Jonas ride his bike with his two close friends, Fiona and Asher. Jonas is a little anxious, because today is the day before their ceremony, during which they will be given their communal roles. The trio then visits a nurturing center, where they see many infants. Jonas's father also works there, and a weeping baby that they see is identified by Jonas's father as Gabriel. Although they aren't supposed to know the child's name, Jonas's father claims that in order to calm the infant, he has to whisper the name to him. Fiona calms the baby thanks to her innate ability to deal with kids. Later on, Jonas, his mother, his father, and his sister named Lily have dinner together at home. They talk about their sentiments for the day, although Jonas has to be careful about how he says certain things, because, for example, he is not allowed to feel love or fear. Jonas is experiencing something very different from his friends, and that is feeling something. He is getting nervous, and that is something that does not exist in this community. He inquires as to whether his parents were anxious to be placed in their current roles, fearing that nothing would remain for them. His father reassures Jonas that the elders know where to put him because they have been keeping a careful eye on him since he was a newborn. The following day, the chief elder gives an introduction to herself. She presided over the graduation ceremony in a holographic form. The elders, who have now retired and will be released to elsewhere, a retirement facility for community members, are presented at the beginning of the ceremony. After that, babies are placed with their birth mothers, while 9-year-olds are given a token representing their growing maturity and independence. After some time, Jonas and the other graduates arrive on stage. There, the community's elders will designate their respective duties. As expected, Fiona is given the role of nurturer, and Asher is given the role of drone pilot. Nevertheless, the elders wait until every graduate has exited the stage before calling Jonas's number. The crowd is reassured by the elders that this is not an error. The chief elder then addresses Jonas, saying that he possesses the necessary qualities that persuaded the elders to choose Jonas to be the new receiver of memories. Everyone begins to chant Jonas's name. Following the ceremony, Jonas is in his room when he finds out the details of his new job. It is his responsibility to report directly to the present receiver of memory as the incoming receiver of memory. He has to go back to his house right away after finishing his training. He is currently free from the regulations about rudeness and is allowed to ask any question. He does not have to take any medication other than his daily injections. He will be free to lie and is not allowed to talk to anyone about his training. Jonas stands out from the others on his first day of training since he is wearing his uniform. Then, on his bike, he goes to the edge where a house once stood. As he walks into the house, the current receiver of memory becomes the new giver since Jonas will now be the receiver. The giver is on a chair and Jonas has to sit across from him so that they can talk better. With the exception of one person who is the receiver of memory, none of the other humans in their societies can recall the distant past. The elders seek advice from the receiver of memory when they need direction on subjects outside of their area of expertise. The giver approaches Jonas, and he notices a mark on his wrist. As Jonas takes his hands in his, the giver notices the same symbol on Jonas's wrist as well. As their hands come together, Jonas is quickly sent into a completely different place, which might be his memory. He is surrounded by snow, and it seems to be very cold. He finds a sled and rides it till he comes to a stop near the edge of a house where a family is enjoying a holiday song. At that moment, Jonas is returned to the giver's chamber. The giver promises Jonas on their walk home that he will discover there is so much more to the world than what they now know. Later on, Jonas's mother discovers that there is something strange about him and inquires about his training. Gabriel is brought to their house by a nurse, interrupting their talk. They have been tasked with taking care of him until he grows up. The baby is loved by Lily, who wants him to sleep in her room. Jonas sees that Gabe has the same symbol as well, and feels a connection that makes him think Gabe will also be chosen in the future. In the upcoming training session with the giver, Jonas is bestowed with a recollection of experiencing several things. He experiences a strong enough feeling that makes him see colors around himself. The giver tells Jonas that everyone would be able to experience opposing feelings as a result of the colors and emotions, which would lead to issues. Later on, Asher and Fiona catch up with Jonas. Asher recounts being able to fly the drones in close proximity to Elsewhere. Elsewhere is primarily made up of farms and rocks, with two of the rocks almost touching. Jonas offers to have them hold trays and slide down a slope to demonstrate to them what he's been studying. They laugh and enjoy themselves, but as Jonas tries to assist Fiona, they hear a voice warning them not to touch anyone who is not a member of their family. On the other hand, the chief elder meets with the giver and inquires about Jonas's background. She tells him that Jonas was nearly caught showing his friends his training. The giver assures her that this is unavoidable and that, in his younger days, he too attempted to impart his knowledge to his friends. She cautions him not to get ahead of himself and to keep in mind what transpired with the previous receiver. After that, Jonas receives numerous books from the giver to read after their daily instruction. A map disappears from between the books, and it is a map of their world. After that, the giver shows him a piano in the basement. He acquaints him with music and the significance of emotions. He then tells Jonas that their ability to feel emotions is taken away by the injections they take in the morning. Grabbing Jonas's hand, he takes him to a different memory, which is a medieval wedding including food, music, and dance. Jonas had never experienced such a wide range of feelings when he woke up. After training, the chief elder's hologram appears in Jonas's house to ask him about his training. Because he is told not to talk about his training, Jonas tells the chief elder that he just sits there and stays silent before leaving for home. In the following session, Jonas experiences terrifying flashbacks of an elephant being shot to death. He also accidentally gets to see himself as a soldier whose comrade is shot to death. Jonas is overwhelmed by processing all of this. Later on, he finds out that Rosemary, the previous receiver, was likewise troubled by the things she had to view. A recollection of Rosemary singing while the giver plays the piano appears to Jonas. In addition, Jonas sees a projection of his father holding two infants in the nurturing center beside a nurse. One baby is taken by the nurse, leaving the father with one who is considered to be too feeble. After giving the infant a lethal injection into its head, he puts the baby in a box and places it in a furnace. Jonas is more than shocked to learn about this disclosure of what they refer to as releasing into Elsewhere. After this, upon seeing Fiona again, Jonas advises her to cease her daily injections, as they are the cause of everyone's emotional numbness. Afterwards, he brings her to the Triangle, a place they both enjoyed visiting with Asher. Jonas decides and proceeds to give Fiona his first kiss there. When Jonas gets home, his father tells him that Gabe will be released the following day. Because of this, he later sneaks out after curfew at night to find Gabe. Asher manages to track him down and confront him, but Jonas punches Asher in the face. When Jonas arrives at the nurturing center, Fiona is there to assist him in obtaining Gabe. They set up a distraction so that Jonas and Gabe could leave without being discovered. Before Jonas escapes on a motorcycle, Fiona gives him one more kiss. The elders watch over Jonas, but as soon as he leaves the community, they can no longer find him. The chief elder gives Asher a direct command and sends Asher off with a drone to find Jonas and Gabe. Asher discovers Jonas dashing through the desert, and he lifts him up with a beam from the drone. Jonas implores Asher to hear him out and to see what the elders are actually doing. Asher obliges, throwing Jonas and Gabe into a river to release them. The elders view video of Fiona conversing with Jonas, assisting him and Gabe in getting away, and even sharing a kiss. The elders find these visuals confusing. Thus, she is guilty of aiding Jonas. Jonas's father is ready to give Fiona her freedom to go somewhere when she is brought into the chamber. The chief elder, the giver, and all others are seated in attendance. It is revealed here that Rosemary is the giver's daughter. Even if the elders don't want to hear it, he declares his love for her. Just before Jonas's father is about to inject Fiona, Jonas and Gabe ride a sled outside of Elsewhere. All of the memories and the color return to the community as a result of this reaction. Everyone starts to feel it again as Jonas's mother and Fiona start crying. In search of a cabin, Jonas strolls through the cold woods while still holding Gabe, as perceived by his memories. He believes that he hears people singing, but it might just be an echo. Jonas admits that the giver brought him and Gabe there, regardless of what transpires. Here, this movie ends. The video is concluded. If you liked it, Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave likes and comments. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for being a part of Instant Movie Recaps. If these tales of mystery and intrigue sent shivers down your spine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Instant Movie Recap for more bone-chilling narratives. Stay tuned, and until next time, stay captivated.